living in an old rundown house, parents unable to find work, and scrounging around for any bit of food that they can find to feed their children. This used to be the reality for many people who lived in poverty, and still is for some. In 1935, Franklin D. Roosevelt changed this reality for many American families with the start of welfare programs. Welfare is misused by the majority of its dependents, however. According to the Indiana Family and Social Services Administration, in order to be considered for government aid, you have to have less than $2,250 in assets for a household unless the household contains a member of age 60 or older or a member who is disabled. Then it is $3,250. However, there are many problems to this system. Proponents of the original welfare system would most certainly be shocked by the amount of loopholes and workarounds which have made their way into the modern system. One of the workarounds is monitoring, or the lack thereof. Picture that family of 4 again. Imagine that both the parents smoke a pack of cigarettes each day. According to fairreporters.com, the average price of a pack of cigarettes is $5.97. If both the parents smoke, this is $358 a month, $4,298 a year that the family is spending, and money that could be spent more beneficially for the family. Also, another interesting fact, the food stamps card can be used on any food items or drink items, such as Little Debbie's, Mountain Dew, or even energy drinks. Money can also be withdrawn from the food stamps card from an ATM and can use that money to buy more dangerous items, such as drugs. Another workaround with this system is the neglect of drug testing. In the past, 15 states have tried drug testing but found their numbers to be low. This is because they only tested for the more severe drugs such as heroin and cocaine and neglected to test for the less severe and more widely accessible drugs such as nicotine and tobacco. If the less severe drugs were to be tested for, they would find their numbers to be much higher. According to Time.com, 56% of mothers say they prefer to stay home with their children because of high daycare prices. There are a wide variety of companies that will accommodate for the lack of daycare readiness. This is fine unless you cannot pay all your bills. Take my aunt and uncle, for example. They work opposite shifts because they do not have daycare accommodations. Do they miss a lot of family time? Sure they do. But they took note of their family's needs and took those into consideration and worked around those. There are solutions to these problems, however. With the WIC cards, the recipients are given a list of items that they are eligible to purchase and a certain quantity that they are allowed to purchase. This is the direction that food stamps needs to move towards, in my opinion. Recipients of welfare also need to turn in receipts of all their grocery trips at the end of each month to prove that they are using the aided money in the correct ways. As I said before, testing for the more common drugs such as nicotine and tobacco would show the true number of people who use these drugs. And finding a job that will work around your lack of babysitting is also a need. And showing proof of employment should also be a requirement to keep receiving aid. Welfare should also be a temporary solution, not a permanent solution. When you sign up, you should be given an allotted amount of time that you will receive government aid, and then after that amount of time, you need to be taken off of the aid. Now, picture a government that works with citizens to reduce their need on government dependency in a nation with a low poverty rate and a high employment rate. In conclusion, welfare is a great resource for temporary use and for the disabled. I have had many discussions with my coworkers, and we all agree that the drug usage, monitoring, and employment all need to become more strict to keep receiving. It is our job as taxpayers to educate our fellow taxpayers on how our money is being used in the wrong ways. As Ronald Reagan once said, we should measure welfare success
Stop you there.
by how many people leave welfare, not by how many are added.
I know for like EBT, one of the most common things bought like where I work is pop, and they'll get like 8 just cases of it. Can they get in trouble for just getting that, or is that just okay? Because I know all they have to do is press food and it just goes through.
From what I understand, because I'm also a cashier at IGA, they are given a certain amount of money that they receive at the beginning of the month, and they can use that money on any food items within that month. I had one lady over the summer who came in and bought $100 worth of ice cream and put it all on her food stamps card. So from what I understand, they can use it on any food or drinks.
Do you know how many people in the U.S. are currently on not welfare, but food stamps or WIC?
I couldn't find any recent numbers. I found some from 2005, but I couldn't find any more recent.
What is the difference between food stamps and WIC? Like, who runs them or what?
Food stamps is more of a, you need money for food, here it is. Where WIC stands for Women, Infants, and Children. The only people that can use WIC is women, infants, and children. So, and WIC's a little more of it has more structure to it. So like, they look at what those recipients need and they say, okay, you can only get this. So WIC's more strict, where where food stamps is more, here's the money, spend it. Alyssa?
Do people get more money if they have children, like from welfare or WIC or whatever, if they have kids? And does that increase with the amount of kids they have?
Yes, because you are feeding more people, so you have to have more money. And WIC, because the old system used to be with checks. If you had like 2 kids, each kid would have their own grocery list. But now with the cards, it's just like all one combined list for the family.
Okay, to touch on Kylie's, didn't you say that like you have like your card and you can kind of withdraw money and that can be used for drugs?
Yes, you can withdraw, like there's cash benefits on the food stamps card, and you can use that, you can go to an ATM and withdraw that money from the cash benefits, and you can go back and buy cigarettes, but you can't purchase cigarettes on the card.
Is
So
that
makes
only
sense.
with food stamps?
Yes.
With WIC, you can do like formula and stuff, right?
Yeah.
You can do with food stamps?
You can, but not all families, but most families that come into IGA, if they have food stamps, they also have WIC.
Yeah.
So because formula is so expensive, they'll use their WIC money, WIC usage on that formula, where they'll keep the food stamps more for leisure food. Logan?
Do you know how money is deposited into the cards?
From my understanding, it's just loaded on a card like it would be on a gift card.
All right, good job.